In our modern world, cities are becoming an ever-increasing problem for the average person. New development is almost always considered ugly, home values and rents are constantly going up in most cities, and more people are crowding into them. The solution to this problem should be simple. We have people whose job it is to design roads and approve construction, but the process is super slow, and like I said earlier, bad design. So in our time of need, we turn to history for guidance. In today's video, we will discuss how cities developed and evolved in a time before city planning. First of all, location. Spoiler alert, people in the 1300s could not just turn a desert into the world's tallest building. If they were going to go through the trouble of building a city, they needed to find a good spot. So all cities had a strategic location. Either a port, trade hub, center for agriculture, or some other reason, all cities had a purpose. For example, Istanbul is at a great strategic location. It is on a peninsula, so it only needs to be defended from one side, and it sits at the mouth of the Black Sea, so it can block any ships from crossing into the Mediterranean. It was partially because of this that it was made the second capital of the Roman Empire, and was able to defend the Byzantine Empire from invasion for hundreds of years. Okay, so now let's say you picked a good spot to build a city. For simplicity, let's just say it's at a point where two major roads meet. Now how does a city expand? Before city planning, houses, roads, and public spaces were decided by the people for the most part. Roads would expand to fit the demand of new construction, and roads would connect to each other to make it easier for people to move around. Cities back then were also much denser, because without cars or trains to get around, everything in the city had to be within walking distance. Cities were also sometimes surrounded by a large wall to keep invaders out, so the city would not safely expand past the original wall. While all of this may be interesting, it still does not solve our modern problems. Still, there are a few things to take away from this. 1. When we build cities, we should find a place that makes sense, with all the resources needed to maintain a city, not just a piece of empty land. 2. We need to design cities around the needs and wants of people, not just a perfect grid. 3. Cities are pillars of human achievement, so we need to put as much care into them as possible. Rome was not built in a day, or 6 months, or 5 years, and neither should modern development. There's a reason modern houses fall into disrepair after only a few decades, whereas the pyramids have stood strong for thousands of years. Cities are fascinating things. They are centers of knowledge, creativity, innovation, and science, and today, more than half of all people live in urban areas, so it's a shame we don't do a better job of designing them. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to do more videos about cities in the future, because they have played an instrumental role in our history as a species. Thanks for watching!